can't see this little jig. It's a little marabou jig. It's tied by Troy Coburn. You've seen him on the show a bunch before. And it's just a single swing hook on the back of it. So we're gonna see if we can get it bit here in the river. It's really basically, it's just a fancy streamer fly on a heavy enough head that I can throw it on a spinning rod is all. Got, oh my God. See him? He's looking for it. No, he went over there and picked it up. He picked it up sitting dead in the bottom, dude.
Really?
Yep. He's right, oh my God. Do you believe that?
He knows at it?
Oh, dude, he went right, like he almost tasted it. How crazy is that? This one right here.
This pool is tough. They have all day to look at it. Even when you have the right flies and the right tippet, they don't, you're lucky to catch one.
Gonna come off of that drop right there.
How fast is that sinking, Chad?
It's 1/8 of an ounce, so it goes down faster than any cone head you got. That's the advantage of it, is it stays pinned to the bottom. Or conversely, I can move it very quickly. Watch what happens if I just reel it across there. Somebody will turn and chase it almost every time, but they'll almost never get it, is the problem.
So when you're throwing it out there, 2 seconds you're on bottom?
Oh yeah,
It lands?
It goes right to the bottom. Yep, it's staying on the bottom. I'll show you one in the sand here. Yeah, it goes right down. Even with the marabou on it, which slows the fall rate quite a bit, it still goes right to the bottom. The marabou, which is why I prefer, like for instance, my favorite streamer of all time is without question a clouser minnow, okay? I love a clouser minnow. But I don't like a clouser tied with typical bucktail because bucktail is very buoyant, which means to get that thing to sink, I gotta make it heavier, which means I gotta make it harder to fish. But if I make it out of synthetic material, then I can use, that doesn't float, then I can, yeah, that fish is just funny how they stare at it. But then, then the bait will sink a lot faster, and the faster a clouser will sink, the more fish I catch with it. And I had long talk with Bob Clouser about that. And he said if he'd have thought about that in the first, there's one. Oh, I had that one. I turned him. You see him?
Yep.
And anyway, when Bob and I were talking about that fly, he said if he'd have thought of that in the first place, but he's like, he was thinking along the lines of a very traditional fly fisherman, which is you tie it out of bucktail, not synthetic materials. So when he invented that fly, synthetic materials weren't all the rage, you know? Mm-hmm. But now, a clouser minnow tied with a pure synthetic material and a lighter set of eyes, I can work a lot, I can cast it a lot better and I can work it a lot faster. And that's usually the key. Look at this big one right in front of us. Let's see if he'll look at it.
Right here?
Yeah, right here. I haven't shown it to him. And the key, all right, can you see that fish right there?
Yeah.
Can you see that fish right there? Right there in front of me, this big bobo? Okay. So what I'm gonna do, you can see him sitting on the rocks right here, guys. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw it, I want my little jig, because my jig what I've already figured out is they don't want to see it up in the column. They want to see it down on the bottom. So I'm going to lead him far enough up here so that there's no chance he gets to see that bait sinking. So now I know it's already at the depth. When I get it over here in front of him, it'll already be on the bottom where it needs to be. I might have not let him enough because the current swung it too far down. So I may have to go, let's see if this guy will look at it. I lost the jig. There it is. Oh, it's up in the column, that's why. It gets that schmut on it, it gets that schmut on there. Okay, now it's good. See how fast it sinks?
Yeah.
He turned. Did he get it? He's on it. He's following it. He got it. There he goes. Picked it up off the bottom right there. I told you.
Nice.
That jig's almost sitting dead on the bottom, guys. That is unbelievable, right? Look at that perfect single barbless hook right in the snout. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, guys. It flies already out, isn't it? Flies already out. We'll get it out of the net so he doesn't get hung back in it. There we go. So there's the barbless hook. You can hold him down in the water a little bit, but there's that little deal, and I want to show you this. If I pull all the feathers out of the way, Troy's got that tied on there with a little piece of braided line, and it's just a little egg hook, same as you'd tie a salmon egg pattern on. And that's the deal. And dude, you can see him pick it up off the bottom.
Another beauty.
You like that? Look, he's got a little hickey, he's got a weird birthmark right here on him, and he's played the fishing game before. He's got somebody caught him right there once, not me. Nice fish, bud.
A little bit of red on the adipose.
Oh, those are good looking fish. Check them out.
Nice job.
You like the nymph? You know, one thing I like about Marty the party here, this is my boy Marty. We only met day before yesterday, but the thing is, a buddy told me that he would be a good guy to have with us in the river, and his first thing this morning was, look, I want to see how a spinning rod gets it done. These fish are eating stuff this big, but when you put this thing on the bottom and just tickle the sand with it, literally quote unquote pound sand, it will get those fish to come over and look at it. He swam right over here and picked it up just sitting dead on the bottom.
Yeah, normally I'm throwing tiny flies in here and you know, we're getting fish, but watching them eat this thing is really cool.
It's eye-opening. Right?
Definitely.
All right, working the single marabou jig, guys. It's funny because this is a very classic way to catch fish with a spinning rod, and almost nobody does. It's a little tiny barbless single hook on a 1/8 ounce jig tied by Troy Coburn. And basically, here's the deal, guys. I always let the fish tell me how to catch them. Well, I was crawling this thing on the bottom instead of hopping it, and I believe that one will count right there, bud. Let's take a look at this one. How about that for a rainbow? Oh my gosh, guys, you can keep him down in the water, let him make sure he can breathe good. Then we'll keep him in the water for a minute. There you go, let me see this pattern.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. So if you look at this in the water, in my hand, well, this rainbow's in the water. It's got a trailing hook. You can see it's an egg hook in the back, and it's barbless on an 1/8 ounce jig. And I don't know if you can see it in the water here, but it breathes incredible in the water. And I'm just dragging it on the bottom, literally just crawling in the sand, and I picked it up off the sand. And I let the fish right in front of me tell me how to catch them. Then I threw it to fish I couldn't see. And guys, that's about as pretty of a rainbow as they get right there. I mean, that's a nice fish. And now our boy Marty the party's gonna let him go right here. And that guy I think he's ready. That is a good looking rainbow right there, guys. Troy will take great pride in that catch. There he is, got that one. Felt that one bite it. Look at the jig just nursing on the bottom. That's one of the browns. We have literally watched him swim up and pick that marabou up sitting dead still on the bottom this morning. And yeah, if you wonder why we throw marabou jigs, that's why. And that's, guys, is more representative of the gajillion fish. Look at the perfect hook right there. That's where you want your streamer hook, no problem. Barbless came right out, fish back in the net in 10 seconds, no sweat. That's beautiful, guy. You can let him out of there, Marty. Marty the party's got us on him right off the bat.